Chosen one. Stop. Do not scroll past this. Something happened in heaven today that involves you directly, and you had no idea. While you were going through your ordinary day, heaven paused. While you were handling your responsibilities, angels turned their attention. While you were simply existing, trying to survive, God smiled. Not a polite smile, not a tolerant smile, a smile of genuine delight. Because you did something that registered in the courts of heaven, something that seemed small to you, something that felt insignificant, something you probably already forgot about. But heaven did not forget. Heaven recorded it. Heaven celebrated it. And heaven is responding to it. At exactly 3:33 this morning, I was pulled into a vision that brought me to tears. I was standing in what looked like a throne room, but it was not silent and solemn like I expected. It was filled with joy. Angels were moving with purpose and excitement. Light was pulsing through the atmosphere. There was an energy in the air that I can only describe as celebration. Something had just happened that pleased the king. I looked toward the throne and saw God leaning forward, not in anger, not in judgment, not in disappointment, in delight, pure, genuine, overwhelming delight. He was watching someone on earth, someone going about their ordinary day, someone who had no idea heaven was paying attention. And as I looked closer, I realized he was watching you. He turned to the hosts of heaven and spoke. He said, "Did you see what my child just did? Did you see how they chose faithfulness when no one was watching? Did you see how they resisted what once controlled them? Did you see how they got up again when everything in them wanted to stay down? This is why I chose them. This is why I mark them. This is why I will not let them go. Not because they are perfect, because they are mine. And today they proved again that my investment in them was not wasted." Then the throne room erupted, not in applause like humans do, in something deeper, a resonance of approval that shook the foundations of heaven. A collective acknowledgement that you chosen one had done something that mattered eternally. That word is for you. You are not being tolerated by God. You're being celebrated by Him. And what happened in heaven today is about to manifest in your life on earth. Do not skip this message. Do not scroll away. If you leave before the revelation is complete, you will continue living as if God is disappointed in you. Stay with me until the end. Your understanding of how God sees you is about to change forever. Before we go deeper, I need you to do something. Type "Heaven is delighted in me" in the comments below. This is not just typing. This is agreement. You are aligning your confession with what heaven has already declared. Type it now and subscribe immediately. Turn on all notifications. What comes after this video will reveal specifically what God is releasing because of His delight. Miss it, and you will understand that He is pleased, but not what that pleasure is unlocking. Subscribe now. You did not find this video by accident. You found it because heaven wanted you to know what happened today. God scheduled this revelation, and your promotion begins with understanding His delight. Let me tell you what you have been believing about God that is completely wrong. You have been living as if God is waiting for you to mess up. As if He is keeping score of your failures. As if His love is conditional on your performance. As if one wrong move could disqualify you from everything He promised. As if His patience is running out. As if every blessing comes with an expiration date. As if you are always one step away from losing His favor. This is not how God operates. This is how wounded humans operate. And somewhere along the way, you projected human disappointment onto divine love. You learned early that approval had to be earned. That love was given when you performed well and withdrawn when you failed. That acceptance was temporary and could be revoked at any moment, that you had to constantly prove yourself worthy of being kept. That rest was dangerous because the moment you relaxed, you might lose everything. And without realizing it, you brought that template into your relationship with God. You started relating to Him through fear instead of trust, through performance instead of presence, through anxiety instead of rest, through striving instead of receiving. God says, "Tonight, I have watched you brace yourself every time you come to me. I have seen you prepare your apologies before you even speak. I have noticed how you expect disappointment before you expect love. But that is not who I am. I am not the parent who withheld approval. I am not the friend who abandoned you when you failed. I am not the authority who used love as a weapon. I am the Father who delights in you. Not because you are perfect, because you are mine. And nothing you do can make me love you less. Nothing you achieve can make me love you more. My love is not a response to your performance. It is the foundation of your identity. This truth changes everything. When you stop performing for love, you start receiving it. When you stop earning approval, you start resting in it. When you stop fearing disappointment, you start expecting delight. Jesus spoke over your identity. He said, "The Father himself loves you." John 16 verse 27. Notice I did not say the Father tolerates you. I did not say the Father puts up with you. I said the Father loves you himself personally directly, not through obligation, through affection, not because he has to, because he wants to. You have been living as an orphan in a father's house. But today you are being reminded that you are not a servant earning wages. You are a child receiving inheritance. Do not skip what comes next. The Spirit is about to reveal what triggered heaven's celebration. Let me tell you what you did that made heaven pause. You may not remember the exact moment. That is intentional. God often hides the significance of obedience, so pride cannot attach to it. But heaven recorded it. It was not a grand gesture. It was not a public declaration. It was not something that made headlines or earned applause. It was a choice you made in the quiet, when no one was watching, when no one would have known if you chose differently, when it would have been easier to compromise. Maybe it was holding your tongue when you had every right to speak. Maybe it was getting out of bed when depression whispered to stay down. Maybe it was showing kindness when bitterness felt justified. Maybe it was resisting a temptation that once controlled you. Maybe it was continuing to pray when heaven felt silent. Maybe it was choosing to trust when doubt made more sense. Whatever it was, heaven noticed and heaven responded. God says, "You thought that moment was insignificant. You thought no one saw. You thought it did not matter because no one applauded. But I saw, and what I saw filled me with delight. Not because the action was impressive by earth standards, because it revealed who you are becoming. It showed me that the work I have been doing in you is taking root. It proved that the investment of my Spirit is producing fruit." That single choice, that quiet moment, that hidden obedience, it carried more weight in my courts than 1,000 public performances. This is how heaven measures. Not by visibility, by faithfulness, not by applause, by alignment, not by what others see, by what I see. Archangel Michael declared over your obedience, "I have watched chosen ones labor in obscurity for years, wondering if their faithfulness mattered. I have seen them continue serving when no one noticed. I have observed them choosing right when wrong would have been easier, and I have carried reports of these moments to the throne. Every single one, not one act of hidden obedience has been missed. The Father keeps records that earth knows nothing about, and your record chosen one is filled with entries that have been accumulating while you thought no one was watching. Today the accumulation reached a tipping point and heaven responded with celebration. Hebrews 6 verse 10 activates over your labor. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. He will not forget. Not a single moment, not a single sacrifice, not a single choice made in faithfulness. All of it has been recorded and all of it is being rewarded. Within 14 days, you will see the first evidence that hidden obedience is being honored openly. A door will open. A connection will appear. A provision will arrive, and you will know it came from the throne room celebration. Let me tell you what God's delight actually releases. When God delights in you, things move. This is not just emotional encouragement. This is spiritual physics. Delight releases favor. Favor opens doors that effort cannot. Favor positions you in places merit alone would never reach. Favor gives you access that your resume does not qualify you for. And right now, favor is being poured out over your life because God is delighted in you. God says, "My delight is not passive. When I rejoice over one of my children, the entire realm responds. Angels receive new assignments. Obstacles receive expiration dates. Enemies receive confusion. Provision receives release orders. You think my smile is just an emotion. My smile is a command, and I am smiling over you right now. What has been blocked is being unblocked. What has been delayed is being accelerated. What has been stolen is being restored. Not because you finally did enough, because I am delighted. And my delight moves mountains. This is why the atmosphere around your life is shifting. You may have sensed it already. Something feels different. Something feels lighter. Something feels possible that did not feel possible before. That is the atmosphere of divine delight. And it is settling over your life like morning dew. Psalm 37-23 activates over your steps. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. When God delights in you, your steps become firm. No more stumbling in confusion. No more wandering in uncertainty. No more second-guessing every decision. Your path is being made clear. Your direction is being established. Your steps are being ordered by a delighted Father. Within 21 days, clarity will flood an area of your life that has been confused for months. You will suddenly know what to do, where to go, who to trust. This is the fruit of divine delight. Do not skip. What comes next addresses the lies you have been believing. Let me talk about what has been blocking you from receiving this truth. The enemy knows that if you ever fully accept God's delight, you become unstoppable. So he has worked tirelessly to convince you that you are not delightful, that you are barely tolerated, that you are one mistake away from rejection, that God is disappointed in you more often than he is pleased, that his patience is wearing thin, that you are running out of chances. He whispers lies that sound reasonable. Lies that feel true because they echo past wounds. Lies that seem logical because they match your experience with humans. Look at what you did last week. You think God is delighted in that. Look at your track record. You really believe you make heaven smile. Look at how far you still have to go. Delight is for people who have arrived. Look at how many times you have failed. God must be exhausted with you by now. These lies have kept you in a cycle of striving, trying to earn what is already given, working to deserve what is freely offered, performing to achieve what is your birthright, running on a treadmill. That leads nowhere. God says tonight, the enemy lies to you about who you are because he cannot lie to me about who you are. I know exactly what you have done. I know every failure, every stumble, every moment you wish you could undo. And I am still delighted. Not because I ignore your weakness, because I see your heart. I see the war you fight every day that no one else sees. I see the effort you make that no one else acknowledges. I see the desire to please me even when your execution falls short. That desire alone moves me. That hunger alone brings me joy. You think delight is earned through perfection. Delight is released through relationship, and you are in relationship with me. That is why I am delighted. This reframe is essential. Delight is not about your perfection. Delight is about your position. You are his child, and parents delight in their children not because of performance, but because of identity. Jesus spoke over your position. He said, I no longer call you servants because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. John 15 verse 15. Do you understand what this means? You are not hired help hoping to keep your job. You are family. You are friends. You have access. You have affection. You have a position that performance did not earn and failure cannot revoke. Stop living like a servant and start living like a son, like a daughter, like someone who belongs. Within 72 hours, the voice that tells you that you are not enough will begin to lose its power. You will notice that accusations that once crushed you barely register. This is the fruit of receiving divine delight. Let me tell you what is being released because of the celebration. The throne room celebration was not just recognition. It was authorization. It was a command being issued. It was resources being reassigned. It was doors being unlocked. It was assignments being dispatched. When heaven celebrates, things move in the natural realm. When God delights, provision follows. When approval is spoken from the throne, promotion is activated on earth. God says, I am releasing what I have been holding because you are now ready to carry it. The delay was never punishment. It was preparation. The waiting was never rejection. It was calibration. I could not give you than what I can give you now. Not because I did not want it, because you were not ready. I had to build the foundation of identity before I could add the weight of assignment. I had to secure how you see yourself before I could expand what you carry. But identity is now secure. You know who you are. You know whose you are. You know that you are delighted in, not tolerated. And now the transfer begins. This transfer is not random. It is strategic. It is precise. It is personally designed for your life. It follows alignment. It lands on those whose identity can hold it. And you are now walking in that identity. Financial provision is being released. Not just enough to survive. Not just enough to pay the bills. Not just enough to make it through another month. Enough to steward. Enough to invest. Enough to bless others. Enough to build what God has shown you. Enough to operate in abundance instead of scarcity. Relational alignment is being released. The right people are being positioned around your life. Divine connections that have been waiting for this moment. People who will see you correctly, support you genuinely, and partner with you purposefully. People who will not be intimidated by your growth. People who will celebrate your success instead of competing with it. People who belong in your next season, not just your last one. Spiritual authority is being released. Your prayers are carrying more weight than they did before. Your presence is shifting atmospheres when you walk into rooms. Your words are landing with power they did not have previously. Your discernment is sharper. Your confidence is deeper. Your alignment is clearer. This is what happens when heaven celebrates. Everything in creation responds to the Father's delight. Angels mobilize, doors unlock, obstacles dissolve, enemies scatter. Archangel Michael declared over your transfer, "I am being dispatched with instructions that concern your next season." Resources that were blocked are being unblocked. Opportunities that were hidden are being revealed. Enemies that were plotting are being confused. This is not because you finally became worthy. This is because the Father is delighted. And when the Father delights, all of heaven mobilizes. Expect movement. Expect acceleration. Expect suddenly that your mind cannot comprehend, but your spirit has been sensing. Romans 8 verse 32 activates over your provision. He who did not spare his own Son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also along with him graciously give us all things? All things. If he gave Jesus, why would he withhold anything else? If he sacrificed his Son for you, why would he hold back provision from you? The logic of heaven is overwhelming generosity, and that generosity is being poured out over you now. Within 21 days, something you have been waiting for will arrive. Not because you finally did enough, because God is delighted, and his delight moves resources. Let me tell you how to walk in this new reality. You are stepping into a season where heaven's delight is not just a truth you believe. It is a reality you experience. But walking in delight requires a different posture than striving. First, stop apologizing for existing. You have developed a habit of shrinking, of taking up less space, of apologizing before you even speak, as if your presence is an inconvenience. But you are not an inconvenience. You are a delight, and heaven wants you to walk like it. God says, "I did not create you to be small. I did not design you to shrink. I created you with intention, with purpose, with significance." When you apologize for being yourself, you insult my craftsmanship. When you shrink to make others comfortable, you hide what I meant to be displayed. Stand in who you are, not with arrogance, with acceptance. You are exactly what I wanted you to be. Walk like it. Second, receive good things without suspicion. When good things happen, you brace yourself for the catch. You assume blessing is temporary. You wait for the other shoe to drop. But God's delight does not come with a trap. His favor is not a setup for disappointment. His blessing is genuinely good. Stop interrogating every good thing that arrives. Stop waiting for it to be taken away. Start receiving with open hands and an open heart. Third, expect more. You have been conditioned to expect less than you deserve, less than was promised, less than is possible. But divine delight raises expectations. When you know the Father is pleased, you expect good things. When you know heaven is celebrating, you expect doors to open. When you know you are delighted in, you expect the best is ahead. Zephaniah 3 verse 17 activates over your expectation. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. He rejoices over you with singing. The God of the universe sings over you. Not a dirge, a song of joy. Let that truth reshape your expectations. Now seal this revelation over your life. Say this out loud. Your voice makes the agreement official. Almighty Father, the one who delights in me, I receive the revelation of your celebration. You are not tolerating me. You are delighting in me. You are not waiting for me to fail. You are rejoicing over my faithfulness. You are not keeping score of my mistakes. You are recording my obedience. I release the lie that I have to earn your love. I release the fear that one mistake will disqualify me. I release the habit of bracing for your disappointment. I receive your delight as my foundation. I receive your celebration as my reality. I receive the favor that flows from your pleasure. From this day forward, I walk as someone who is delighted in not shrinking, not apologizing, not expecting the worst. I am your child. You are delighted in me and nothing can change that. I receive the transfer. I receive the provision. I receive the promotion. Not because I earned it, because you are pleased. In Jesus' name, amen. Heaven recorded that prayer. The celebration continues. The transfer is in motion, and you are walking into a season where divine delight is your daily experience. Now complete the declaration. First, like this video. This is not about numbers. This is about agreement. When you press that button, you agree with heaven's celebration. Do it now. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications. More revelation about walking in divine favor is coming. If you are not subscribed, you will miss it. Subscribe now. Third, share this video with someone who needs to know that God is delighted in them. someone who has been living under the weight of false condemnation. Send this to them now. Fourth, type heaven is delighted in me in the comments. Let other chosen ones see this truth. Let other weary souls receive this revelation. Let heaven record your agreement with what has been declared. Type it now, chosen one. You came to this video wondering if God was disappointed in you. You came questioning whether you were doing enough. You came carrying the weight of false condemnation. You came bracing yourself for correction instead of expecting celebration. You are leaving knowing that heaven just celebrated you. You are not tolerated. You are treasured. You are not barely accepted. You are fully delighted in. You are not one mistake away from losing favor. You are eternally secure in the Father's love. Walk like it, live like it, expect like it, pray like it, receive like it. The Father is smiling, and His smile is changing everything about your life. Starting right now. Starting in this very moment. Starting with this revelation that changes everything. Amen. It's not just a channel. It's a calling that if you're ready to become who heaven has destined you to be. Subscribe to Chosen Kingdom now.